Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
There was a chapter in my second grade science book called Seasons, where we learned about the four seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I never got to experience all these seasons because the place I grew up in India had only one season: sunny summer and warm winter. I always wanted to experience the winter, the snowy winter. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to visit. An ideal vacation for me would be to go to a cold place or a hill station. The only memory of snow for the longest of times for me was from the Indian movies. There are a lot of movie songs that are shot in snowy places like Switzerland and New York and London. There are actors and actresses actually dancing in the snow in Indian movies. I always wanted to touch, feel, and smell the snow. A couple of years later, I moved to Pennsylvania. I moved for my grad studies in August of 2009. I moved at that time of the year when the leaves started turning orange like the crackling fire. It looked really beautiful. It almost reminded me of a wallpaper I used to have on my computer. When Microsoft released their, I think, first few wallpapers, they had these fall colors. It looked very beautiful. The leaves blew like a ballet dancer. It was like a warning for the coming winter cold. I used to check the weather.com website every day to see if it was going to snow. I was so excited. One chilly morning, I was sitting in my class listening to a lecture by a professor. And when I stepped out after the lecture, to my wonder, it was snowing. There were these white snowflakes falling on the ground from the sky. It looked very magical to me. This was my first snowfall, and it was also the first snow of the season. It was very soft and powdery, and when it fell on the ground, they were shining like crystals. I took my gloves off my hand to touch the snow. I noticed that the snow was falling very slowly on my hand and noticed the shape of the snowflake. It was very distinct, and it reminded me of all the things that I read about the shape of the snowflake. There was a stillness in the air, but there was a light sound when the snow hit the ground. It was much softer than the sound of the rain. It took me to a different place. It reminded me of my childhood days when I watched the snow in the movies. It was very real. I took my phone out and looked at the temperature. It was about 30 Fahrenheit. It was so cold. I was completely covered. I was wearing a big snow jacket. I was wearing my snow boots, which were now starting to get covered in snow. I was wearing a muffler, ear muffs, and everything was, I was warm everywhere except my nose, which was getting very red and cold. I started observing all my emotions, and I was actually in awe of the wonders of nature, how seasons change from summer to autumn and autumn to winter. I now started getting a little hungry, so I walked over to the cafeteria, and what better way to enjoy the snow than have a warm cup of soup. So I got myself a bowl of hot noodles. The aroma of the ginger and the garlic was tingling my nose. The warm soup was very comforting to my face on the cold day. I finished my lunch and walked back to the bus stop to take my bus back home. I observed from the window there were snowplows clearing the snow. There was white snow all around me. There was snow on the trees, on the buildings, on the pavements, the sidewalks. It looked like somebody came and painted the whole town white. I went home and I noticed that there was a couple of inches of snow outside my house. So I and my roommate decided to make a snowman to celebrate my first snow. So we made like a small ball and a big one, and then decorated it with twigs and a muffler and some Snicker bars. It was a beautiful day. I stopped everything I was doing for that one day and just observed the things around me. I want to share a line from a poem called Leisure by William Henry Davis. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. We are always in a hurry and have no time to enjoy the beauty around us. I think as humans, we should take some time out and admire and appreciate the beauty around us. Thank you.